What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Henrico here, and I'm here to say, yes, all the wonderful places in the world, yes. I'm here with deck profile of my child, my son, my beloved Asian boy, Dave. He's gonna give us the deck profile of
Bell Moon.
And what build is it?
It's the special Harri build. You know, the one that just doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Ooh, okay. All right, just give us a quick deck profile, and we'll ask you questions during the whole video.
Yep. All right. So basically, we're gonna start off with the starter, and the starter is from the new set, Cat Knight in High Boots. This card, I cannot stop saying this. This card is God in this deck. As soon as you stride to Harri, you call this thing out, and you get another superior call. Anyway, the plus part of it is that it stays in the soul. It stays into the soul. So when you ride your grade 1 over it, it stays in the soul. So later on, you don't have the chance of your opponent retiring it. So it's always in a safe spot, and then immediately when you go into your stride turn, it pops out and it's ready to go.
All right.
Then you got triggers. I run 10 crits because you know what, this deck is meant to be super aggressive. So you want to poke your opponent. You want to hit your opponent with a lot of crits. Fast as you can.
Yeah, you might as well since you get rig guards anyways from souls. So.
Exactly. I mean, especially this thing, Jesus. And getting that draw power. True, it doesn't like filter out. It does thin out your deck a little more. However, you want to push your opponent while keeping yourself in a defensive position.
Of course. So what's you say? What, you play 2 draws or?
Nah, I played 2 of these new stand triggers from the last set. The reason being is because if you draw because you already have the crit trigger, you're already drawing more cards. So this card is here for basically when it's put into the soul, instead of actually putting it into the soul, you actually put it back into your deck in order to find a new one, a new unit to put in. So like you could just put in like you could put like another Harri into the soul, or if you want to put like another like run like I don't know, just any other grade that you want, and depending on the situation, it comes in really clutch. And that stand trigger does come in helpful sometimes.
Okay. Sounds pretty cool. And then obviously 4 heals.
If you don't play heals in this deck, you're just kind of like, what are you doing? I mean, if you want to play 16 crit, go ahead, by all means, but like I like to have my heal triggers in my deck. I just like this one a little more than the one in the trial deck. I don't know why, I just do.
Obviously. And grade 1s?
Grade 1s. 2 purple trapezes.
Okay.
Because the thing is, like, you don't want to see this thing wait too often, but you want to see it enough that it's either in your hand or in your soul. And then automatically, like, you have like all of your strides that are generally just gonna tuck cards back in. So you could generally just recycle this, and you could also just, if you play it right, you can also put this back into the soul, and then later chain it with more bigger combos.
Obviously, it's the engine of the deck.
Yep. Obviously you need 4 of these because the deck would not function at all without Stride Assist. And also, well, generally whenever you're playing a Harri deck, I don't know what it is, this deck is, Harri just doesn't like to come to my hand, so this comes in really big clutch when I draw it. Next, you run the new,
don't care.
this new card from the new set 6, yeah, set 6, Q Paratrooper. This card, along with the starter, makes beautiful combos. So basically you call this, and then from that you get the superior call this from the soul, and since it was called from Magia ability, you get to call another unit into the same column, and that unit gets +5. So just imagine, it's a flying Paraton, except much better and a grade 1. So this is your obvious ride target.
Okay. Broken combos.
Oh, so stupid, so broken.
I told you.
And finally, the Unflipping Perfect Guard. You need these because you counterblast non-stop. The moment you're out of counterblast, you have to actually start thinking. But realistically, these cards obviously come in clutch, just for the counter charge.
Okay, you got Blaster Dagger.
Okay.
Next off is the grade 2s. 4 flying Paratons. Granted, you do have the grade 1, which is like a much better. However, you still want the chance to soul charge and just to like have more cards in the soul for more options and to be able to make more columns and to make more broken fields. Like this card is something like you can actually sacrifice. Like it's not that big of a deal. But it's still really good in the fact that in scenarios where you don't have Harri on your vanguard.
Yeah, I mean, it just fills up your regards.
Yep.
It's a +1.
Yep. Dark Side Princess.
Ooh, baby.
Oh, this card. If you are stuck on grade 2, and you have like a purple trapezus in your hand, and you have this in your soul, you are set. You are set for a grade 2 game. You can push your opponent. You can make your just building your board, hitting them with a solid 14 consistently at their vanguard. That's really big. And depending on what they are, it's still really threatening. Like I have never seen a fight. I've never been in a fight when this card did not come in helpful with me.
The grade 2 games, too good.
Ugh, God. Like, I don't want to bring myself up to that. Now I finally got Crescent Moon Juggler from set 6. This card, along with this really stupid grade 1, is so dumb. For the sole fact that this, with the starter you combo into this, and with this you combo into this, and this combos into, you know what, potentially you can have another one of these in your soul. And guess what, you have a whole board off of one card. Off of one card you have a whole board. And also, like, if you have like soul charge like those perfect guards, and you have like a perfect guard in your hand, you have no counterblast to use.
Yeah.
Guess what, you get to soul blast it with this. It's really coming helpful.
Well, brokenness. Now for the grade 3s.
Of course, what Harri deck wouldn't be without your main dude Harri. Although he does not come to the hand, but he's still really good. Here's the part where it comes in if you don't have counterblast to use. His GB2 skill that's where it comes in handy. You could basically rebuild the whole board. As long as you have that starter and that grade 1 in your soul, this card will remake a whole turn for you. It might be slower than a stride turn, but it saves you some cards in your deck so you can soul charge more.
Alright, so you would say that's your main grade 3 that you want to ride.
Oh, of course, of course.
Okay.
Finally, you have this Flying Manticore. He is your subgrade 3 for the sole fact that on ride, if you don't have the Harri, on ride, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, you check top 5 and you search for any unit with Magia. So potentially you could be searching for a Harri, or if you have your Harri in your hand but you just want to keep on searching, you can use this guy. Or if you have that perfect guard, you get siphoned out really early.
Okay. So basically, it's another searcher for Harri, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, not bad, not bad.
Finally, you come down to your strides. So, first turn stride obviously is Amanda. Because, you know what, I have no reasons to hate her. She's just so good. And plus, she has the Magia keyword in her name and her text, so it comes in really helpful with your future plays. And, like, let's say, like, guess what? I'm gonna go into a unit like, like Mephisto, which is our next stride, which is basically this card makes all the plays I just mentioned earlier godly, giving all your units +1 for every single Mephisto on the board.
So you would say it's basically the finisher for Pale Moon.
Oh yeah, this is a finisher and a mid-game card. So the sole fact that you can whittle down your opponent's hand with this, and then guess what? Your boards are hitting for more 20+ all the time. Also, if you don't want to use the counterblast, his axe skill is by unflipping a copy. For every 2 copies you have, like every 2 copies of a unit with Magia that's in your G zone face up, you get a call up to 1 unit from your soul to rearguard. So basically, you get to do Harri skill for free, except you don't have to soul charge. So now you get to keep cards in your deck, like potential triggers or perfect guards, and while you're also making a board for free, and they all get potentially +4. So you're gonna be hitting 20+ or 25+.
That's not bad. It's really good.
Yep. Now you have 2 Lunatics.
Ooh, SP.
This SP, oh god, this card honestly is great for the fact that it's also a finisher. Also, like if you don't want to use your Mephisto yet because you want to like time your stuff well. Here you go. This guy is like, oh, guess what? Amanda. Then next turn strike. Guess what? I have Lunatic, and he gets a crit, and all my units gets +2 that are superior called. And with this build, you're constantly calling from the soul, and everything's going right back into the soul. So using this, and using this in order to get a crit on itself, and giving your whole board all columns +4, that's fantastic.
Make those magic numbers.
Yep. Finally, you have 1 Harri. I mean, this sexy GR over here. Granted, like, you only need 1 for the sole fact that you don't need to unflip. So that's why he's really good. In those situations where your soul isn't looking really good or your soul's looking really thin, or you see the Harri Vanguard, he's right here. And like, if you haven't used enough, any counterblast at all because you couldn't draw anything with your flying manticore.
Yeah.
You stride into him. You have those crit triggers in your hand. Call him out to the board. Guess what? You're swinging in, and you're gonna soul charge. You're gonna draw cards, and potentially you can draw into that Harri for next turn. It can be really bad. Also, alongside that, if you have 5 rear guards after using his skill, you shuffle 2 of your opponent's rear guards into their soul, and that honestly makes or breaks the game, and that is what makes this card absolutely amazing.
Yeah, like you can make your opponent soul charge his interceptor, so he can't basically an extra guard, so he can't instant at all. So yeah,
Exactly.
it's pretty good.
Fantastic. And and everything about this deck is all about comboing. So it's like a tempo combo deck, which is really, really good.
Okay. So what would you say, future-wise, how do you think this deck can do in the current meta right now?
In the current meta right now, I feel as though the deck is kind of like, it's hard to catch up because Diablo is now a thing, and that's this deck's really big weakness, is the fact that at the end of the turn you don't have rear guard, so Diablo exploits that.
Okay.
However, like if Pale Moon gets a devastating stride, not as bad as Diablo, but something close to it, like with a guard restriction, this deck will just go off completely. Like there's no doubt about it. And if there's like a better way to search for Harri for just to get your cards, it would be great too. And if you can consistently stride, then this deck will absolutely become in the meta. And then people are obviously making new ways to make the deck like more creative and much better to use.
Of course. All right. Well, thank you, Dave, for sharing the deck with us. Another deck profile. And guys, like I said, if you like the videos, comment down below, give your opinions. Hit that like button if you like it, or if you have something negative to say, obviously say it. We don't care. We still love you guys anyways. Please remember, all our videos are dedicated to our loved little brother, Jason. Jason, we love you, never forgotten. And just keep subscribed, and we'll have more videos for you guys. All right, later, YouTube. Peace.